also a third one. So I've termed it, if you can show the next slide. So yeah, I am speaking about navigating procurement requirements, and which is then access to market. But I think in my presentation, it's going to be conversational. There's not a lot of slides. I really want to hear from you. And I've got the 2 questions up. So some of you are brave. You're entrepreneurs. You're trying to sell yourself or sell your products and offering so that you can get funding. So I think a few of you will be brave to answer the questions that you see. Any hand? Tenderpreneur. You answer, okay, no, it's fine. You can take one of them. No sound. Okay. Do you want to come up and ask? Oh, here we go.
Okay, thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Audrey Tladi. I am from Free State, Bloemfontein. My company is Sun's Delight, but we have a clothing brand which is ASL, and I make these things that I'm wearing. So right through, I'll be wearing everything that I make. Yes, so to answer the first question, the difference between tenderpreneur and an entrepreneur. Tenderpreneurs, they focus mainly on tenders. Yes, that's how they make money. Their business is mainly focused on tenders, regardless how big or small they are. And an entrepreneur, we look forward to solving people's problems. We look for problems and we want to solve them daily and every day. Yes.
I love that. Thank you. Thank you. Well defined. Well defined. So, yeah, I love, so entrepreneurship is about solving problems. It's about innovation. You can be an entrepreneur and have tenders. You know, I think sometimes we go public sector, and if you be dealing with government department, we call it tenders. And then when we are dealing with private sector, my corporates, we say contracts or off-takes. but you can be so the tenderpreneur obviously has some negative connotation in South Africa because it hasn't been businesses that are adding value or seem to be adding value, and now they are not sustainable because you get your tenders, you get your money, you spend it, so we are looking for solutions and value adding. So entrepreneurs tend to be more resilient and more sustainable over the long term. Then the second question, anybody wants to say this? So let's go to the bank. Okay, we'll take both. We'll take both of you ladies quickly.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Oratilo Tau, and I'm the founder of Kamkhelo Skin. And I would say that the primary objective of a business owner, or umnikazi, as put there, is to determine and ensure the fulfillment of the objectives of a business or a project or whatever it is that you're working on. So your job is to determine and choose why are we here and ensure that we're working towards that direction, be it alone or in a team.
Great, thanks. Good one. There was one at the back.
Good afternoon. My name is Ketelo Sibisi. I come from UKZN, meaning I come from KZN. I am the founder of Botanic Hair Care Products. And my answer, when I was doing grade 9, they told me that an entrepreneur is a person who started a business in order to make a profit. So to me, I grew up with understanding that the primary objective is to make profit, of which when I'm growing up, I realized that the primary objective of an entrepreneur is to fill the gap in the market of whichever product or a service that you are making or delivering. It's only to solve a problem. Thank you.
Wonderful. Yeah, I love both definitions. Ultimately, you want to create wealth for yourself, for your family, and for your community. And you also want it to be intergenerational. So it's difficult to create wealth on a sustainable basis if you are not profit making. And guys, don't be scared. You can make profit, and that's a good thing. It's just in the way that you do your products and services. How do they impact the people around you and your communities? So, we call it sometimes the umnikazi. When you own something, you feel like it's yours. So it also means that when you are generating wealth and trying to become profitable, you're gonna want to maximize your sales and minimize your costs so that you can create that profitability. And what we like about developing entrepreneurs and profit-making businesses is that you contribute to the country, because you can contribute for your taxes into the economy, and then you will create jobs as a result. So I know sometimes it can be difficult. So let's say a business going through a hard time and you've employed 10 people, now you have to retrench, and you might be seen as a bad person, but it's very important to always think about the long-term objective of your business. Yes, in the short term, you might be making decisions that are hard, but that's important for you to do that. So I stress on that point because if you think about Absa, we've got shareholders, and fortunately ourselves as employees as well, we're also shareholders of the company. So, when you are our supplier, you are a cost to us. We are income to you, you are a cost to us. So we want to manage our cost down, which means that we are looking for value that you create when you're supplying goods and services to your customers, so that the customers know that you are not overpricing or they feel like they're not getting value from your product. Therefore, it means that you really need to be very, very competitive when you do that. But it's something that's just to keep in mind. So if we just go to the next slide. So I just speak a little bit about some of the challenges that you face as potential suppliers or distributors to large corporates or even small corporates or even just customers in the community. I think the biggest one for me, some of you have even heard this saying. There's a saying that says you can't get fired for hiring IBM as a supplier. So what it means is corporates generally they default to dealing with other corporates. It makes sense, sometimes you want to do that because you feel a little bit like you can trust, they are big enough, they're not gonna disappear the very next day. So generally corporates feel that they need to be supplied or supported by other corporates. But this is about to change, and that's what we want to change in South Africa. So I do think it's a very complex environment, and you need to be aware of those challenges, that you're not only competing, with your neighbor and another small business, you're actually also competing with the big guys. And you can take them on if you believe in your product and service. Because, as I said, we are looking for value. As a customer, I'm looking for value. If somebody's supplying me a service or a product, I'm looking for value. And the more you can show that, and the more you can, as you go, you'll prove to your customers that they should come to you than to your competitor. So I think from I call this slide research to end, because I was discussing with Sanazo, she's here in the room, she was just caught up in, and she had some questions around what she's trying to research, and I was talking to her about, knowing what your passions are, because, when you have passion on what you do, it's gonna bode well for you, because in this space you need a lot of resilience. You know, you can't give up, and when you passionate about what you do, and you're good at what you do, you're gonna stay the course. So, and in order to do that, you need to do a lot of research, and it doesn't have to be technical or scientific. Sometimes you're speaking to your friends, your neighbors, your sister, your brother, and you're testing, you know, how would people receive this solution that I'm thinking about? I do, by the way, think to be an entrepreneur, you have to be a little bit crazy, but that's okay. We need you in the country. Some of us that are a little bit more risk averse choose to be in corporate. So you need a lot of resilience to be able to manage the business. So I've lost my train of thought there. So if you just go back to the previous slide. Yeah, so what I've seen work very well is, previously I wasn't sure about this networking thing, you know, so currently you've got your fellow students and you're gonna meet a couple of people, new people today. There's always value in networking. You know, people can, as you talk to them, they can spark something of interest to you. So when you're building your product and service, you need to show the unique selling value of that product, and you can only do that by speaking to people. So just be aware there's, you know, what I call this business dilemma of saying, you know, do you deal with your customer directly, which is in a corporate setup, it's a business unit. You know, you've got a service, let's say you come to me in my department, we say, yeah, we can use your service. But we've got a separate department that does procurement, and there's a good reason for that, because, you know, you might feel that I've given you a work and then you feel like you owe me something, but actually you don't. You know, it's an arm's length transaction, and you're showing the value that you would add. So I think sometimes the issues that we have with regards to corruption is that sometimes it's even unsaid in an agreement, but, you know, I've given you something, therefore I expect something back to you, from you. So just be careful of that. And then please research your customers. So if you, for example, you're trying to be a supplier to Absa or distribute one of the products, it means that you need to really research us. And, you know, we put out a lot of marketing and information about the bank. And also you can also compare us to other banks, for example, and say, what is so unique about Absa? I need to get more understanding, so that when you come and present your case, you actually know as well, because then you build the rapport, and you're gonna have to do that for your customers. So yeah, so these are just some of the tips. It's not comprehensive, but I thought about some of the takeaways from trying to get yourself to be procurement ready, as it's sometimes called, because, you know, I know there was a panel on the funding discussion, and we are always debating this, you know, what comes first, the work or funding, and, you know, it's chicken and egg scenario. But you always have to show up on the skill that you have and the product and service that you provide. So I've put in some points, and I've already touched on the value proposition being competitive. So I think if you compare a tenderpreneur and an entrepreneur, a tenderpreneur is not always competitive, you know, maybe even from a pricing point of view. And it's not always compelling, and it's not always value adding. So you need to make your product and service compelling. We must know, like, what is unique about you that we can't find from your competitor. So, you know, your strengths, your quality, your passion is to come through. Then there is a question here on your personal characteristics. So again, I raise this question because it can speak to this tenderpreneur and entrepreneur. So the question is really, do you think it's a compelling proposition if you are young, female, youth to what you are selling? Any thoughts on that? Anybody wants to answer that? It's always the side of the, I don't know if there's a, I think, yeah, all of us can just think about it. I just want to understand, like, how do you think about it when you are presenting to a potential customer?
Hello, everyone. My name is Matabo Manyani, the founder of Mucheli Bakery. So I think that race, age, and gender are a selling point indeed, because it happens that sometimes when people come to my bakery and they ask me, like, I just judge their expression. Sometimes you need to, like, try to test your customers, like, check, like, do, like, certain researches. So I said that the products are not mine. And then the customer said, I'm no longer interested. I thought they were yours, so I was buying to support you, not somebody else. So age also counts because, as youth, we are active towards our customers. And then gender also counts because, like, opposite sex attracts. So not in a bad way, though. Not in a bad way, but sometimes most guys support me because I'm a lady. And sometimes I buy, if I see a lady and a guy selling over there, it happens. Like, sometimes I'll go to a guy because he's attractive, and then a lady, I'm a lady. And then jealous, no, not in a bad way. Another thing is the thing of jealousy, like, more especially with ladies. Ladies jealous each other, so that's why I say they count. Thank you.
Okay. So, thank you. I'm looking for a contrary opinion to what she said. So I agree with her, but I want to hear if there's other thoughts. So as you're thinking about it, it's like, so would I choose to buy from you even if maybe your quality of your product wasn't as great as maybe an older white gentleman product or service? But let's hear further thoughts.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Ntando Blessings Neka. When it comes to the question on the table, given the context, the historical context of the country that we live in, it doesn't really become a selling point, but much more of a hindrance when it comes to trying to get customers or, get attention or funding towards your project or whatever it is that you're trying to push. We were previously in the regime of apartheid, and we all know what happened, and we all know the realities that we face on a daily basis. We all know where the money is at, but yeah, the unfortunate thing is that things like race, gender, age work against you, if anything.
Yeah. Yeah, so, I think we can hold it there from a comments and stuff. So what we've seen, when we do assessment of business cases, so more from a funding perspective, or well, even from a procurement perspective, there's actually the emphasis is on quality and the service of that product or offering as number one. So, whenever you're doing a pitch, you really need to focus on those. So it needs to be obvious to the audience that I almost see those as a bonus. And the fact that you are female, young, and black should be a bonus. What you should really be pushing is the quality. And I say this because I see a lot of the times that we sometimes do it in reverse. So we start selling about who we are, which is fine. But me as a shareholder, as a company buying your product or service, actually all I want is reliability, quality. Of course, I will appreciate, and there's sufficient incentives in South Africa from a legislation point of view, if you buy from small businesses, from women-owned. Even as banks, as Absa, that's our focus area at the moment because of our historical context. But I think for me, the biggest tip here is understanding that there's no customer that's going to lower their expectation on value. And you really have to invest, as if you were another color or you're old now or whatever, and then use that as a bonus. And I say this because there's a point that I make about the benefits to the customer, because that's what we see all the time, being able to quantify and explain those. And also, from a partnership point of view, the customer wants to see you as a partner. So it's not just a transaction, I'm buying, you are selling. How do you become a partner to your customers? How do they trust you, and how do they see themselves developing a long-term relationship? Because competition is not going to end. There's going to be people that are seeing what you're doing. They will try and replicate it, and they will also push, and they will also knocking to the same procurement officials. Maybe there's a change of management, and then other people come. So to really maintain a competitive landscape, your product needs to have the quality, and then the other benefits will come. So I'm just, because my time is probably running out, MC, or is it run out? Okay, so I'm going to cut. I am around for a couple of more minutes if you have some questions. You would have seen Absa colleagues. We're here to support you. So I hope that you've taken something from my presentation, and good luck in your entrepreneurship journey. We'll see you. Thank you.
All right, now that we are under the theme of access to markets, we'll be heading into our third panel discussion. I'm not sure if Kentani will be, actually, no, I actually have the bio here, please excuse me. Our moderator for this session will be Oratilwe Tau, who's a second-year BSc Geospatial Sciences student at Wits University, an entrepreneur, a researcher, and an advocate for change. She's the founder of Kamokhelo Skin, a skincare brand dedicated to natural solutions for healthy skin, inspired by her own personal journey with acne, and is also the president of the Student Women Economic Empowerment Program, a passionate leader and storyteller. Please come to the platform. Alrighty, that's our last panel discussion for the day, and I hope you enjoy.
Good afternoon, everyone. How are we feeling? Oh, perfect. I mean, this is the Gauteng Youth Entrepreneurship Week, last time I checked, but the energy, it's not giving youth, man. How are we feeling? You see that? That is way more like it. So as with the biggest test of success for any program or initiative is seen in the success of the people that it's supposed to serve. And as such, with the Absa and YEI programs, we also test success with the success of their products. So in that case, I'm not going to run a panel alone. Of course, I can't talk alone. So I'm going to welcome a couple of really inspiring individuals on stage with me to head this panel and to give you a lot more on their experiences with entrepreneurship and all the incredible insights that they've gained from these programs, and helping you to also recognize and see where your part is in the entrepreneurship ecosystem. So firstly, I would like to welcome an incredible young lady and someone who inspires me very personally, a biomedical scientist, innovator, and founder of Ilanga Coils, an innovative hair care brand made with organic African ingredients for African hair. Please welcome on stage Nomusa Kambule. And as he makes her way on stage, I would like to welcome again a poet, writer, performer, commentator, designer, I'm talking decorated, and founder of Tendalo Trading, a business that upcycles rubber tubes into eco-friendly bags. Can I please have on stage Olile Mabusa? And to complete this panel, we're going to have a multi-award winning innovator, TECA Top 10 Startup 2024 awardee, an eco-innovator and founder of Kwezi Innovations, a company that co-creates innovative solutions to tackle climate change and sustainability issues. Can we please welcome Nonhlanhla Mhlongo? Watindi Mboloto. Whoever said women aren't winning is jealous. Welcome, ladies. You are looking very, very beautiful. Welcome to the Youth Entrepreneurship Week, and I hope you've been having fun. So in the interest of time, we're just going to dive right into it. I just read very condensed versions of your bios, and you're all such incredible, incredible women. But as I was researching you last night, a question came to my head, and I'm like, I feel like the people deserve to know, what inspired your entrepreneurship journey? Because I'm looking, like, Nomusa, for example, you started in biomed, and now you're here. We have a poet and a commentator, and I'm like, give us the deeds. What inspired your entrepreneurship journey?
Hear me? Thank you for the question. So going on to what inspired me, I would say my personal struggles inspired me to start my business. So to start off, I always used to relax my hair, and yeah, that was a struggle. You know, I was conforming to a standard of beauty that did not celebrate my natural beauty, how God actually made me. So, and with that, so I would say it was actually during COVID-19. You know how during COVID-19, everyone was on YouTube watching all those natural hair tutorials and whatnot. That's when I actually decided to start my natural hair journey, experimenting with everything in my mom's kitchen, you know, becoming the actual scientist that I am. So I was just mixing everything up, and it actually worked out. And, you know, my friends and family was like, oh, what are you using? You've changed so much and whatnot. And here we are today with Ilanga Coils.
Nonhlanhla, you can step in.
Okay, can you guys hear me? For me as well, I would say it's COVID-19 because I used to be a teacher. I was teaching maths, and I realized that the sanitizing of kids' hands every 5 minutes was taking so much of the teaching and learning time. So I decided, how about we had something that lasts for an hour? So that's when I came up with an idea to develop a biodegradable 2-in-1 hand glove sanitizer that you apply in your hands, and it stays effective for an hour. The glove is peelable and it dissolves in water within a few minutes, leaving no waste behind. Unlike later...
Hi everyone, I hope you can hear me. So mine started my story started before COVID-19. I suffered stroke 2018, and I needed to learn how to redo things, how to use my hands, how to walk. And so that process was like a draining process, and it was at the time of my life where I didn't really like and enjoy being alive until this one time when, during my recovery, they forgot to buy bread one Tuesday and I was really hungry. So I went outside for the first time in 7 months of not leaving the house at all. I took baby steps to go to the shop because it was really close, and coming back from the shop, there's like our local mechanic between the shop and our house. So he discarded his rubber tubes outside the shop because he doesn't need them. I just picked up a motorbike rubber tube because it was not big, but it was like still inflated, and something like struck me with it. I took it home. 3 weeks down the line of taking it, I started washing it because my hands were really weak at that time. It took me 3 weeks to get through it, and I realized that I actually love doing something for the first time. Then it became a thing where I just wake up in the morning, go to the mechanic shop, pick the rubber tubes, take them back home, wash them until I felt like that when I'm washing them, I'm cleansing a bigger part of myself that was dirty and that didn't like being alive. And as they were piling up in the house, my mom was like, "You better get rid of these things." I couldn't get rid of them because it took me 3 months to just wash the rubber tubes. And for the first time in 3 months, I was healing without knowing I am healing. So the big part of my journey, and getting rid of them was going to set me back. I started making earrings and grew from making earrings to making bags until we got where we are.
Yeah. Wow, I mean, whoever isn't inspired is just being stubborn for nothing right now. And as I'm listening to our wonderful ladies speak, I'm realizing that the consistent pattern in their motivation is not consistent. COVID-19, your hair care struggles, which you don't have anymore now, your recovery and your healing. So I want to ask now, from the starting point of your entrepreneurship journey till now, how do you think your vision has changed? Because you had an objective when you started. You saw yourself somewhere. You wanted to have better hair. You wanted to encourage us to look at our hair a certain way. But how has your vision changed since then?
Okay, as I had said before, it started off as a personal journey, but now seeing that I have the power to impact more people has actually been amazing, I'm talking about people that have sold my products who come back to me and be like, "Wow, you've changed my life." And that's very personal and very touching, and I would say that's all that I live for. I mean, my life is fulfilled, honestly.
So mine, because it was healing, and healing that I didn't I was not looking for it. It just found me when I was doing washing the tubes, sewing them into bags. How my vision has changed was because at first it was healing. I loved doing what I was doing, and it became something that I really wanted to wake up each and every day to do. And as I changed everything to business, I didn't want to lose that personal touch to the business. That is when I sat down and I was like, what can I do to ensure that I don't lose the personal touch when now I'm turning it to business? Then I was like, I'd like for the business to do for other people, especially for my community since I'm from a village, give healing to some other young women and older women. And then it was just a growth of that idea. How can we do that? Let us train more people on how to sew, because we believe in a stitch holding a person together. When you're sewing all the broken pieces in you back to life, and in a way you will find healing. Then if we train more people, then we believe they will be sewing all the broken pieces of themselves back to life, and they will find their purpose.
I think for me, I don't even remember how many times I asked myself, what exactly am I doing? Because I feel like entrepreneurship is a very lonely journey. It's like you ask yourself if you are in the right place or if you need to go back to corporate. Because during my market research, I had to go and speak to healthcare practitioners. And I realized that not everyone cares about the environment. When you start to state your value proposition that how are you saving the environment? Like most healthcare practitioners will say things like, we don't even care about the environment. We just want to wear our clothes. So it's a very lonely journey. So I think my vision has changed because I've been part of different programs where I've been trained, groomed. I got to understand the fundamentals of business because prior to funding, the only thing you want is like, I want funding, but you don't even know what you're going to do with that funding. So I think it's very important that we go through these programs. They teach us about sustainability, how to scale your business, when you get that funding, how to work on the budget. Because I think on my first funding, no one warned me about tax, especially SARS. So when it came for me, I was like, oh my goodness. So I think there are like a lot of things that we need to be taught prior to getting the funding. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That is really incredible insight. And this one is posed particularly to you, Nontantla, but you ladies can step in at any time. You are an eco-innovator. Sustainability and climate change and all the environmental care that we have to give in this world, that's your business, that's your thing. And a core value or pillar of all of our Absa and Yay programs is creating sustainable businesses. So we're not just creating businesses that are gonna work and flop in 3 years. We're creating sustainability. What is sustainability to you?
I think sustainability to me is not specifically on the environment. I think every business can be sustainable. You just need to have a good business model. You need to understand what problem are you solving. Work on your solution, get experts, speak to people who are going to help, people who are already on the industry. I think it's also very important to have mentorship, someone who have walked in this journey, and then you know exactly what you are working on.
Oh, heard. That is word on it. Ladies, you have something to add on?
Okay, I have a bit of a different view of sustainability. So I would say for us at Ilanga Coil, sustainability is more on the environment. So we really care about what we're doing to the environment. So all our products are packaged in glass packaging because we know that glass is going to be reusable. You know, you can re-sterilize it and use it again, thereby reducing the amount of containers that are out there. So that's how we look at sustainability, by using glass because it's eco-friendly and reusable.
Nonhlanta, you touched on something very important about networking and creating an environment. How do you think networking and mentorship, particularly that is offered in the programs that we have here, has aided you in your journey, be it helping you navigate challenges or even anticipate some challenges, and to basically get you as far as you've gotten right now in business?
I think it's very important because even right now, you don't know who you are sitting next to. It could be someone who can lend you to a different place. Because I'm here today as a panel because I was one of the emerging 30. I've got into a program that was funded by TIA because it was shared on the group for the emerging 30. So I think it's true when they say your network is your net worth, because you meet people who can even connect you to other people. So it's very important that you go out, you speak to people, you collaborate, you talk about your businesses, you find problems just by walking around and come up with solutions that are actually solving those problems. Because I feel like in this time and age, everyone wants to be an entrepreneur and they're actually solving problems that are actually nobody's problem.
I would actually, oh man. I think I'm learning so much from these people. Y'all really inspire me, honestly speaking. And to close off our little session, I would like to speak to you directly, again on the question that I just asked Nontantla about networking and mentorship in this space and how it has helped you in your journey. And I also want you just at the end to just throw in some advice. I think we have our top 50 here, and we have a bunch of other entrepreneurs and people that are looking to get into this space. What is your advice to them? What are you saying to them? What are you saying that Absa and Yay can give them that they can't get in the streets?
Oh, you shouldn't have like phrased that question that way. Now that our panelist has done that, I am in the corner to tell you that you guys are in actually the best space ever. Last year around this time, I was one of the people who were pitching. Actually, I didn't get to pitch right after with everyone else because I had to quickly go back to Nelspruit. I came in the morning with a shuttle, had to go back that Friday. So what I did was I was the crazy person out there crying, looking for everyone who's working at Absa, at Yay, crying to them that I want to pitch, I came here to pitch because I had taken my last money that I had to come here. So I couldn't go back home without pitching. And that was the best decision ever because I had amazing coach here, Bongiwe, I'll call her by name. She was amazing when I was struggling with other things in the business. I'd just call her randomly. I'm struggling here when I'm struggling even emotionally, not just the business, because my business is more of the personal side. And I do not want to leave myself behind while I'm running a business. I want to carry myself in and succeed as a person, as a human being. So she was there for me, holding my hand because of being in a top 30, and because I was there and I'm with Absa and here, guys, I got to go to London. So they saw the opportunity that is fitting and aligning to what I do, to be in a space with funders who have your best interest at heart, who are just not thinking about you when you are in a room with them, but when you are at your house, wherever, doing your thing. It's amazing and it feels like home. And trust me, you do not want to walk alone. When I see one of my sisters who we won the Woolworths competition together, and we had our products in different Woolworths stores. When I was going into Woolworths, while I was still improving my product, I ran out of money. And I was able to have products in those Woolworths stores because I came back to Ye and I said, I have to have my product at Woolworths, but I do not have money. And they said, okay, we will help you to have the money and make the product and get them to Woolworths to sell. So we were able to sell at Woolworths because we are in this program. You are in a program where you're not by yourself. Your struggles, you're struggling around people who understand you, people who are always going to hold your hand, people who are always going to show up for you. You are in a community, you have sisters. So do not leave this network. Once you get in, you are in forever. Just like Basket 8, make use of your coach because the coaches here, they have your best interest at heart. They're not coaches by name. We've been in different programs. And for a person who's been in different programs, I'll tell you that coaches are coaches by name. They are it's just a word. You have a coach, and that's it. You'll give a feedback later. But they check up on you, and whatever you're struggling with, if they do not have enough information, they will call the next person within their network in the space that they're in, so that you can grow and become what you could become, only if you choose to become. So just hold their hand, walk with them, and know that bigger things are waiting for you as long as you are in between Absa and Ye,
Oh, thank you so much for that incredible insight. And thank you, ladies, for joining us for this panel and being here to share your stories. We hear you, we are inspired, and we're very grateful for your presence here. And we're also grateful to Absa and Ye because, look at these beautiful women. It's all because of you. So, unfortunately, this is where we end today, but these incredible ladies are still around if you have any questions to them personally. But from us, this is it, and thank you.
Thank you very much, ladies, for those inspiring stories. Unfortunately, because of issues around time, and I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you so much for your audience. But before that, I would like to say we are going to be going into a masterclass now presented by Ms. Welinduli, who's the Absa Area Segment Manager, a masterclass around understanding the role relationship banking has to the business sector. But before I get off the stage, I want to leave you with a quote that I strongly believe in, especially when you are pursuing ventures within the business space, that character cannot be developed in ease and quiet. Only through the experience of trial and suffering can the soul be strengthened, vision cleared, ambition inspired, and success achieved. Igama lami ngumhlonhlo Buhle Gelebe, inzwakazi yaseMampondomiseni. Ndiyabulela.
Thank you, Buhle, and thank you for doing such an excellent job. Good afternoon, entrepreneurs. You guys are the future of this country. You are the groundbreakers, and you are very intentional about changing South Africa. And I think for that, you really deserve a round of applause. If you can give yourselves a round of applause. So, as I have been introduced, my name is Ueli Ntuli, and I'm from Absa. And I've been tasked to come and discuss with you the role of relationship banking in making your businesses successful. And I am hoping that my presentation will be flighted in not so long. I'm not sure if you received my presentation, and if you can please put it up. Thank you. You can please move to the next slide for me. I don't have a pointer here. Thank you. All right. So I'll start with the opening line using this quote, "A jack of all trades is a master of none, but oftentimes is better than a master of one." So I found this quote to be in the SME space for the past 5 years. The quote depicted so well what I've experienced business owners to be, because they dabble in so many roles in their business. At the same time, we know that there is one passion that actually drew them to the business, and we are aware that they are often drawn by that one passion, and that's the one thing that they want to do. But the demands of business often drive them to more responsibilities than the passion that they first wanted to focus on. So we know at Absa that businesses are birthed from great ideas, that businesses are birthed from passion, as I've already said, and often when business owners start their businesses, they soon realize that it takes so much sacrifice, so much time, so much money to get the business off the ground, to get it operational, to get it profitable. And most of the time, they did not plan for such a scenario. Being a business owner has its own challenges. I've already mentioned that business owners find themselves playing different roles in the value chain of the business. You start this business and you soon discover that you have to be your own marketing manager. You discover that you have to be your own financial planner. You have to be your own receptionist. You have to be your own consultant, customer service consultant. Whereas there's one particular thing that you are passionate about, which is what you are selling to the market. It could be a product, it could be a service, but here you are, you find yourself being involved in an array of roles. We also do understand at Absa that when business owners start their businesses, it's because they have a vision of independence, a vision of wealth creation, a vision of creating livelihood for themselves, but most importantly, they have a vision to impact the market or the end user that they are selling their product or service to. I've already touched on the split roles and the myriad of demands that exist in running a business, but I think when I looked at that quote and I read it, when it said, oftentimes is better than a master of one, that's when I realized that business owners are so precious because they took the risk, they took the leap of faith to take the first step to go into a business, and that's what makes them better than a master of one skill. When it is one passion that drew them into business, they said, I will take whatever that comes with this decision that I am making now to start my own business. And it is with that in mind that at Absa, we want to support you and walk with you in this journey at relationship banking to make sure that a platform is created where you can have access to resources, where you can have access to support, where you can have access to markets in order to help your business to thrive. Can I ask you to move to the next slide? Thank you. So at Absa, our purpose is to empower Africa's tomorrow, together, one story at a time. In relationship banking, connecting with you and creating that interdependence and having constant contact with you is our primary goal. So whereas I would target my bankers to often engage you as a client at certain intervals during the year, you must know that as a business owner, you also have a responsibility to keep your banker in the loop about what you are doing in your business so that they can always be ready to recommend to you services and products that you can make use of in order to scale up your business. So at Relationship Banking, we crafted a value proposition with the understanding that business owners have a passion that has birthed a vision that will create value for the market and make impact to society. And as such, we have created segment focus. So our relationship banking business unit has created a department that specifically focuses on enterprises that turn over 0 to 20 million rand, which we call the SME business unit. That's the business unit that I'm in and I'm very passionate about because I'm passionate about supporting businesses to reach their best potential. Post the 20 million rand turnover benchmark is then our commercial segment, which focuses on much bigger businesses that turn over above 20 million and more. Then we also have sector specialization because we know that by virtue of operating in a particular industry, someone who is in manufacturing will not have the same needs as someone who is in retail and wholesale. We created sector specialization in order to have specialists within Absa that would be able to support you depending on the industry that your business is in. Then we've also designed a spectrum of financial products and services that are available through your banker. Hence, I encourage that you keep your banker close. Make sure that with every decision and change that you are making in your business, you rope in your banker. Keep them informed. Let them know what's your next move, because it's often better to be proactive and give them that information so that they are able to advise you and prepare you in terms of any requirements that they may have in order to be able to assist you. Next slide, please. Thank you. So our head of SME nationally often says that banks are financial doctors. So it's our job to diagnose the problems that you sit with and in turn be able to provide solutions that can help you and propel the business forward. So through our value proposition, we've provided various channels for you to interact with that will assist you in getting access to our products and services. We provide a banker. We provide digital banking channels like the Absa app and Absa Online. We have a virtual channel, which is a 24-hour contact center that you can contact at any time for service queries as well as applications for finance. We've got a wide variety of transactional accounts. Our transactional value proposition, which we call Evolve, it is created to grow and evolve with your business. The charges of which can vary from 0 rands to about 700 rand per month, depending on how big your business is and how many transactions you actually do in a month. We provide various card products, credit cards, garage, fleet cards. From a working capital perspective, we provide overdrafts, trading finance, lending perspective. We have different types of loans depending on what you are financing. We have payment solutions in terms of the swiping machines, point of sale machines. I think many of you call them speed points. And e-commerce platforms now are much more popular, as we see a lot of online businesses come up. And then we also provide investments, different types of investments, depending on your need. Right, thank you. Next slide. So the role of relationship banking in helping your business to become successful, I hope I've been able to capture the essence of why relationship banking is important in helping your business to be successful. If there's more questions or more discussions that you would like to hold, we've made available our bankers outside. There are a number of them that you can engage, and they can take your questions or offer clarity on anything that you need clarity on. We also do have our website, absa.co.za, where you can get more information on our offerings. So that's what we offer as relationship banking. And as a parting shot, I'd like to say that as a business owner, we do understand that your focus is to be a master of your craft. As relationship banking, we are there to walk that journey with you whilst you are trying to perfect your craft, so that you can create maximum value for your market. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. That's all I had to present to you. Enjoy your evening.
Hey, molweni. Ninjani? Hey, hi man, bahle man. Yeah? No, thank you so much. And as you know, when I come, okay, yesterday I came first, so I'm coming last now. So there's someone that I promised that I'm going to conclude the program at that particular time. Where is she, from Eastern Cape? Is she here? Yes. You see, I'm a man of his word. So thank you very much for taking this journey with us, starting from Limpopo, way in July, coming in closure to Mpumalanga and walking this entrepreneurship journey with us. And I'm just going to reiterate words from Dr. Stephen to say that, you know, there is a tide that needs to be changed. We need to move the tide, and sometimes we might not get things right, you understand, but the tide needs to change. Africa is ready, South Africa is ready. In particular, you are evident of that. So these are my just short words of closing, just to say thank you and congratulations on being on this path of entrepreneurship. It's not an easy path, but you have taken the courage and the inspiration to follow through with your ideas and your dreams. I feel like entrepreneurship, when people say they are dreamers, there's no better dreamer like an entrepreneur. So I would like for you to just put two hands together and just clap for yourself. And then just lastly, thank you to everyone, to the team, Absa team, for making this thing very possible. Thank you to the Yay team. Thank you to Panda and all our partners, the RCTA. Thank you, and thank you. And then lastly, there is going to be, I don't know why I'm on the screen, there's going to be a post-evaluation form for you just to feel, just for us to know. Like I'm saying, we are changing the tide, right? So if we are changing the tide, I have to get an understanding to say what is the sentiment, you understand? So if you are feeling something, she's feeling something, you need to be able to express that. So please, just do quickly, 5 minutes, scan and this QR code and fill in the questionnaires. So it's a very short survey. But also, just a short announcement for our top 50. You need to be ready by 4:30. You need to be ready by 4:30. If an opportunity presents itself, you need to be ready. You're an entrepreneur, right? So when I say we need to be ready by, imagine a client coming to you and say you need to deliver by this time, and you say, "Hi, Bo." You understand? So it's an attitude thing. You understand? So let's correct that. When I say we need to be ready by 4:30, let's be ready by 4:30 so that we can then engage on the next step of the progress. And then those ones that are coming around Gauteng, PTA, East Rand, and Soweto, our buses are ready for us. I think post the evaluation, we can be able to proceed there. And then, Zanai, am I leaving anything? All right. And then you guys know, wait, guys, relax. Nyazi, hey, it's Friday today. I understand. But I need us to make sure that we fill in this thing. This is quite very important, right? So that when you come back again, the programs are tailored to what you need, right? Not what he needs, but as a collective, what we need to see. You understand? So the focus this year was financial inclusion. It's going to continue to be a financial inclusion for SMEs and emerging entrepreneurs. So, but I need to know the next time when I come to Eastern Cape, I know you're from Eastern Cape, to say, okay, Eastern Cape, you need these particular things, so that we can be progressive in the way we do things. So please fill that in. Top 50, 4:30. You need to be ready. Walala wasala. And then the people from PTA, beautiful students from TUT, yes. Thank you very much. Please also just make your way post for filling the form. But in that, Akensa, Alebu Wabaya Danke, thank you. Don't forget to fill in the form.
Ushers at the door, please check if everyone has filled in the form before they leave. Ushers at the door, I got you. Some of you guys did not fill it in. Top 50, please make sure you're at the bus by 4:30. We will leave you at 4:30. All the top 50 participants, guys, please wish them luck. I will tell you on the group where the bus is. Just make sure you are downstairs, dressed, ready to impress by 4:30, né? And remember, there is a share of 100,000 on the line. Woo! Branding. Hi guys, is there any branding assistance here? If you're a branding assistant, please come through. We really need to move. We're about to go to the next venue. Okay, guys, for my yes, we didn't leave you guys out of anything. I know we keep talking about the top 50, but I do want to say thank you guys all for coming. It's really nice to see you, full circle moment. And then I think now what we're going to do is, let's do this. Just give me 2 seconds. Okay. So, I was just checking. Okay, no, that's fine. Oh, do you know, Slee, are you on any of the groups? The thing is, Gauteng was not added in the accommodation according to my understanding. Because you could apologies, guys. Oh, sorry, that's so loud. But I wanted to say, with regards to the certification, we're going to find another time before you leave to have the certification. So as in Kohlwanga, it's just that with the program running over as it did, we weren't able to include it. So please, again, please don't think sin lahlile sin kohliwe. It's just that we couldn't include it. Does that make sense? I am so sorry. It would have been so nice to just walk here, and be like, but I mean, so I think what I'm trying to find now is what you guys are going to do. We know that there's dinner, usually at from 4:30 until 6, and I think it's important to give you guys a break. So I think what I'm going to ask is, do you guys want to have dinner, then take a rest, then we come back and do something, or do you guys want to go for dinner, do something, and then go have a rest until tomorrow? No, but you need a break now, between now and... Okay, I'll let... Okay, no, I'll let the team know. I'm just waiting for someone to let me know if we can go to dinner right now.